Hi, greetings. This is Ann Sieg, and I want to share with you the background, the backstory of what you're looking at right now, 21 Suggestions for Success. This was a list that was provided to me by a gentleman, he's a silversmith by the name of Brad Nelson. So I actually want to give you a little bit of the background here, and then we'll get to what those 21 suggestions are, and basically it's going to play out over the next 21 days. So I need to go to a website. My husband and I just got back from a 3-day getaway over the weekend to enjoy the fall colors up north in my native state of Minnesota. And as we went along Lake Superior, we ended up driving by this home. I wish this were my photo. It's not. I did not take a photo. Kick. Wish I had done that. But all to say, we drove by and we went about a quarter of the mile, or maybe less than that, and Brian's like, you know what, I want to turn back. I noticed that guy was building a dry rock wall, and I want to talk to him. And so I was at this house, we turned around, sure enough, the guy was still there with this huge rock wall, was not there in this picture, and he was putting rocks on there, and Brian was intrigued by this, that's my husband, and this gentleman, we ended up being there for about 2-3 hours actually, and he gave us a full tour of his grounds. He took us into his workshop to share with us all the work that he does with his craftsmanship, and he gave us a tour, of course, of his gift shop. We didn't go upstairs, but that's where he resides, is here. And there's another website with just a little bit about him. Unfortunately, I have no pictures of him, and I tried to take a picture of him, and he refused. I will share with you the pictures that were taken while we were with him. This is in his workshop, and he made these combs. And so he's making replicas of these old things. This is from, he goes to Duluth and he walks along the shore and just through Duluth and looks for old shoes with the insoles. And then this is an actual artwork that's on the wall, and there's a story behind this. He had about 3 or 4 of these. Each one was very uniquely designed with a unique story behind it and this whole type of thing. And this is a purse. It's a coin purse that they used back in the days of the Vikings. And there's a scale inside there, and that's how they would transact their commerce, is they'd pull out this scale and make their transactions for what the value of something was. So this was very common that they would have this this metal purse. He hammered it out, and inside is this custom-made scale. These are this specific Indian art from country of India, and this is a box. And he said these are particular methods of creations that are becoming obsolete. Nobody wants to do them anymore. It's all becoming prefab. And so he's this amazing artisan from, really, it felt like we went back a few centuries to see all this amazing craftsmanship. There's his dog who just wanted to be friends with us. This is Brian here. This is the dry rock wall that I'm referring to, and this dog was so cute. She just was really begging for attention of, could you please play fetch with me? Throw the stick, please. And so we had fun doing that. But let's get back to what this is about. So the way I'm going to roll this out is each day I'll share with you one of the 21 suggestions for success. And what my husband and I did is we had a road trip from our lodge where we were at in Two Harbors, drove up to Grand Marais, one of our favorite towns along Lake Superior. And that's an 1.5-hour drive. And so we spent an 1.5 hours going over the first half. Here's the sheet, by the way, the very sheet we use. I have to say, this was provided to me by the silversmith. And he said, I give this out to all my people who come through my shop because I just want them to, he said, I just want to make the world a better place. And he said, I feel like this is something of value to people. And I would agree. I think it is our eternal quest to find happiness and success. So it's a lot of fun as my husband and I went through these. Some of them ended up like a 20-minute discussion. Others, it was 3 to 5 minutes. But it was really, really fun to, I would have my perspective, he had his, and we'd go back and forth. And it was just a very memorable car drive going through this 21 suggestions for success. So I'm going to share it with you day by day, each one of these. And what I'd like you to do is read through it. And if you think you have a comment to reflect back on that particular suggestion, that you would do so below. So with that, let's dive in and find out what that first suggestion is. Kind of an interesting one. For me, it made perfect sense. Number 1, marry the right person. This one decision will determine 90% of your happiness or misery. So I feel I am an extremely, very happily married woman. So it's like, check. And on the whole, I feel like my life is very, very successful. And I attribute a good majority of my happiness to this. I think conversely, when you're with someone who makes you miserable and you're very unhappy and dissatisfied, your life can be, as they say, a living hell. And so I'm going to give you the little backstory for me on how this materialized for me. By the way, we've been married 30 years, and I'm not sharing this to brag. I'm just sharing so you can have a little deeper insight on me because, like I say, I think we all want to have happiness and success. But as a young adult, and I'm not going to go through the whole story, but just related to this particular topic, I made a decision that I would not be the one to make this decision. I would yield this decision to God. I was going to say to someone else, but I'm going to say, I yielded that to God. And again, I just had some significant changes in my life in my young adulthood, but I was like, no. It's not going to be me selecting who my life mate is going to be. I am going to leave that up to God. And so we had a very unique courtship and proposal and the like. It was really, truly 100% miraculous the way it all played out. It's just really an unbelievable story the way it unfolded. But more so, I believe this. I believe how we enter into our commitments has a significant factor in the outcome. So I want to repeat that again. The way in which we commit to something and our understanding and the scope and our approach, the mindset, has a significant impact on the outcome. I went into this with a marriage that is a very 100% commitment, covenantal. I entered into this covenant, and I know I'm using words that probably some of you aren't comfortable or familiar with, but I'm just speaking from my end. And I think it does relate to happiness in life, and I think it relates to business too. That I went in with this very high level commitment. And so what that means is when you hit those bumps and challenges along the road, well, because I've locked in a really hardcore commitment, I face those hurdles and challenges in probably a very different mindset than, say, someone who comes in with a prenuptial and, hey, these are the certain things, you cross those lines, you're out, this, that. Mine was just more, I will make it work. I will make it work. And it's been wonderful. We both agreed, high five, check this one off on our list. I also had the good fortune that my parents modeled this for me. That wasn't the case for my husband. He came from a divorced family, but he's just been amazing. So that's suggestion number 1. And feel free to comment below. Again, I realize for a lot of you, you're going, this does not even apply to me, Ann, because I know, the marriage rates are down and all this kind of a thing, and that's perfectly fine. This is just from this particular list. All right, so go ahead and share with me your thoughts. I'll see you in suggestion number 2 tomorrow. Talk soon.